Hello, everybody. I hope you can see me clear or hear me loud and clear. Um, Welcome to my channel. This is my first live, and I'm a bit nervous. Like, let's see. La, la, la. Okay. So, yeah. Oh, this is weird. Um, Hello, my people. Welcome to my channel. My name is Annabella, as you know, and hello, roving reader. Happy New Year! At least somebody showed up. um, Muffin will join us too. Come, Muffin, come. So yeah, I don't have no idea how this will go. Do you hear me loud and clear? Just let me know. I want to talk about dangerous liaisons. So I read this when I was like 15, 16, I think. And I really loved it. And it was just before the movie came out. And I truly adore this book. It's so, yeah, vicious. It's just mean. The way people are treated and the way people um, behave in this book and how calculated people can be. And it's just the polar opposite of myself. I don't never think things through like this channel. And yeah, I hope you join me to read this because it's a marvelous book. It's absolutely brilliant. I come Muffin. Ah, there she is. Muffin always sits next to me. That's why you always see a white chair next to me. It's never empty. She's here. Let me. Yes, little Muffin. Hello, Carolina. Oh, Carolina. Hello. Look, this is Muffin. This is my. Pick it up. Look, look. Hello, Elizabeth. Mes meilleurs vœux. Hello, Micah. Happy New Year. This is wonderful to see you all live. So, Happy New Year, Felice. So yeah, Book and Books, Elizabeth will join us for Cordero de la Clou, and I'm really looking forward to reading this together with you. I think we are 50 plus already in the Discord, so feel free to join. If you don't even have to read together. You can just read along in the chat. It's fun. It's great to how do you call it, to talk about books, even if you haven't read them. So it's always fun to do this. So I really hello reading this live. Hi, MJ. And yeah, it's fun to do. So I've been thinking about my channel lately. New year, maybe new ideas, new things. I want to try out new things in a way. I want to try out new formulas that I haven't seen much of on YouTube, on BookTube. So maybe a sort of, hear me out, so a sort of a documentary style of deep dives into books. A little bit more compact than I did for Solenoid. That was just a tryout, but still with a lot of images and with parts of text, and then I really dive deep. Hi, Jim. I really, Happy New Year. I really dive deep into a book or the works of um, one particular author. So I'm working on the first one will be normally about Anaïs Nin. So she's an author that I always found very fascinating because, well, if she didn't choose the genre erotica and maybe another genre like just literary fiction, she would have been one of the most important authors ever lived. She is such a brilliant writer, such a brilliant writer. So yeah, are you interested in content like that? Let me know. So I also got some, um, yeah. Thank you, Micah. But you always find things great. Um, yeah, so I'm trying to be a little bit more different. So not more um, uh, midweek check-ins and stuff. People like to know, of course, what you read. That's true. But I think people are even more interested in um, more a deep dive into authors and their work and what to read, what not to read, what's the best start to read an author, what book should you try out. I will do one about Coetzee, I will do one about Saramago, the Portuguese author. So yeah, she is so, Anna Nin is so magnificent, but she chose erotica, and that's a bit. She was also very troubled. There are a couple of things that are a bit questionable. Saramago, yeah, I really want to talk about him. I love his work. I've read 6 or 7 books by him, so thank you. So yeah, hi Tanya. Um, All the Lives is an excellent book too. It's not his best though, Jim. All the Lives is brilliant, but it's not his best. I think there are even better books by Saramago, and I will do but I know what you mean. I know the book, I've read it too. It came after Blindness and Seeing, I believe. Um, and then yeah, Coetzee is one of my favorites. Always have been. Although he doesn't make me happy at all. Yes, it has a Kafkaesque vibe. That is true. That's true. I am now reading a book that appeared on my Kindle. I don't know who ordered it for me, or is it a publisher? I don't know, because it's not even out yet. It is the shards in the shards, yeah, in English, and scherven in Dutch. I received it in Dutch by Bret Easton Ellis, you know, the author of American Psycho, and it's good. I am really, really enjoying it, and that is one of the things I really want to do. Focus on this year is to read a little bit slower, but also a bit how you call it, a bit more in depth, a little bit more aware, because I always wanted to rush through books, and I'm going to come back from that a bit. So I want to read less, and I also am not going to do reading challenge on Goodreads because it wasn't happy. I like to read The Death of Ricardo Reyes. I don't know. Oh, I didn't see that one. And what was it about American Psycho? Because it rushed past me. Maybe I'm going to try to. Can I go on my own channel? Yes, okay. This will go better. So I have also my. Got it. Yeah, voila. So now I can read. American Psycho was very disturbing, I agree, but this one isn't. It's fascinating because it's the author is the main character. So the main character is named Britt Ellis, and he claims it happened to him in the 80s, the early 80s. And it's about a serial killer that was active in those days. A lot of serial killers were active in those days. You have this a whole lot less because of forensics, and there are cameras everywhere. So serial killers are a bit over now. So it's mostly mass killings now. But the fun thing about this book, the shorts, is that so he is the main character, so the author is the main character, and I'm not really sure if I can believe him. And so there's he's at school, still at school, he's 17, and he thinks he knows the killer. He knows the serial killer. And yeah, it's a bit of a mindfuck. So it's really fun. It's a fun book to read, and I'm reading it slowly because I'm. It's also a kind of how do you call it? Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, you're right. Request it on NetGalley. Yeah, it's really good idea. But no, it's also the love for the 80s comes through. He talks about so many groups, music bands, and about authors he admires. He really loves Stephen King. He talks a lot about Joan Didion and how she was or in that time is important to him. So yeah, it's fun. It's a fun read. Yeah, I have a great time reading it. And then wait, let me see. No, not anything else. So yeah, if you have any questions. So my idea is so to do more documentary style videos. Then of course my Sunday coffee clutch. That will remain because I really enjoy doing it, and I believe that people really enjoy watching it. So yeah, I will keep that. So and then I'm going to try another I'm thinking about another formula to make things, yeah, a little bit different, to make booktube a little bit more less less standard. I mean, everybody does his top tens, and it's yeah. Thank you, Jim. Everybody likes their top tens and everything, and the wrap ups and things, but I try to do a little bit things a little bit more different because it's really important that we keep. They always say booktube is dead. No, it has to evolve, and we have to be more interesting. it has to be more interesting to keep booktube attractive. And if we always do the same, or everybody does the same, then it's a bit difficult to maintain it. So I just try. I love trying new stuff, and I like to come up with yeah, switch things up, Rover. That's roving. That's absolutely what we should do. Make it more, yeah, different. And of course, you have to keep balance in a way. Yeah, it's alive, but people are talking about booktube is that, booktube is that. I don't think so. But I really want to, yeah, bring some new stuff. And but I there's another formula that I'm chewing on, but I'm not quite sure how I can make that realize in reality, make it a reality. Hi, Erin. Hi. So yeah, 13 people. Ooh. Oh yeah, I brought my coffee. I need a coffee today because the party was wild. I went to Brussels yesterday, stayed there. Yeah, I need more coffee too. I stayed there stayed there for the night and then came back this morning. But whew, it was feisty. We had a lot of fun though. So yeah, that's the most important thing. I appreciate when people uh, either do things from a slightly different approach, such as soggy expat nerds, lunch break books chat, or just read books that you don't hear about outside of BookTube. That's what I'm doing always. So yeah, Snow Dog Food is a good book. Did you like it, roving reader? Snow Dog Food is brilliant because it's also a bit of a mindfuck because you don't really know what happened, and that's such a good book. So it's by Claudio Morandi. I talked about this on my channel several times, and it's about an elderly man who lives in a cabin up in the mountains in northern Italy. And during winter time, he's snowed in, so he can't visit the village. So he has to make sure that he has enough food for at least 6 months before he can descend to the village again. And but we are not sure if that if that what it does to his brain, to his mind. And there are something strange things happening. There's a dog coming, and he talks to the dog, and the dog talks back. And yeah, it's a really interesting. Okay, great. And okay, I will. Can you put a link down below of the translator who is talking about this book? Because I always like to read about or hear about the art of translation, because it's a really it's not easy to be a good translator. I wouldn't be able to do that for fiction. That I can do. I did a book about religion, and I translated a couple of cookbooks, but that's easy. But a fiction is really yeah, a whole other game. So yeah, and then I have some presents. Somebody gave me this by China Melville, Mieville, Perdido Street Station. I follow a bunch of Spanish and German booktube channels. Me too. I really like Lays and um, Spanish. I don't understand Spanish enough. Although I celebrated New Year's Eve with a lot of Spanish people, so for the eighth time, I believe, I had to eat grapes at midnight. Do you know that tradition, the Spanish tradition? So when the when it's 12, the clock strikes 12 times, and then with each strike you have to eat a grape, and that brings, I don't know, good luck, I think, and fortune, and it hasn't worked any. It hasn't really worked yet, but hey, we can try. Have you heard of that tradition, the Spanish tradition of? Oh, you do that in Portugal too. Okay, I didn't know that. I never heard of it. We don't really have a tradition. Yeah, the fireworks, but that's everywhere. It was crazy with fireworks in Brussels. Oh, poor dogs. I hope. Yeah, it was brilliant. I didn't know that. When I lived in Spain, I arrived on January 1st and left by June. So yeah, you missed it. So yeah, and what we do is we have Christmas tree burnings, and that's yeah, down my road, and that will be next weekend, I believe. And then I have a tradition that I invite my neighbors, my dog walking friends, and all people from the neighborhood over to my house, and I bake waffles, the real waffles, and fresh, so with yeast and everything. And then we go together to the fireworks, and it sounds uh, um, how you call it? It's fireworks that doesn't make much noise, because I live in the middle of an environment with where the nature is protected. So the farmers here are very highly regulated. They are not allowed to use chemicals. Yeah, they have a lot of things that they have to do, like they have to when they have a field that they want to grow, I don't know, corn on or anything else. Well, they have to keep one big portion only for flowers to preserve the bees and stuff. And I find that really, and it's beautiful. Yeah, silent fireworks. That's great for yeah, but it's not only for that. It's also for the deer and for yeah wildlife that is coming back here. Finally, after how many decades? So yeah, I'm really happy with that. So has anybody read Perdido Street Station? No one? And this one, The Book of the Unnamed Midwife by Mac Ellison. Has anybody heard of it? Read it? I believe that Ollie likes it. But yeah, Ollie is Ollie, of course. Yeah. Yeah, that's about it. Do you have any questions? Maybe? And yeah, what else do I have to see? No, neither. No, I haven't read. But I. Okay, and how was that, Aaron? Embassy Town? And yeah, I want to read a little bit more classics than the 8, of course, but I want to yeah, read some more classics, but more outside of what we normally read. I'm still reading the short, so that's my first on the list. And then I have to read for my book club in Dutch, Het lied van Ooievaar or something. And I hope I like it because I have to talk about it. And then I'm hesitating between more of Sibia Aleramo, you know, the A Woman book that I've read. That it was really good in the sense that um, not because of her writing, but because okay, she was criticized for making. That's when, yeah, it's difficult to capture a voice from from another language and keep that voice in your own language and don't make it your own voice, because that's a really difficult exercise when you're translating. You always have your own writing style and you have to forget your writing style, so you have to know how to do that, and that's not easy. It's not an easy button to find and to switch off. So it's really, yeah, I got a translation of I did like it. Okay, I have a Dutch version, so it was a very expensive book. It was like of Anna Karenina, it was like 40 euros or so. It was really expensive, but hey, I wanted it because I read the beginning, and that felt really right. So yeah, Hans Bolland, I think his name is. So yeah, I really want to read him. For Dostoevsky is Anthony Briggs at the moment. Okay, I did read The Brothers Karamazov by Macduff, and I really enjoyed that. Yeah, I know. I will restart those the writing sessions, assignment sessions. I will. I guess some people say the same now of PNV, making all authors sound the same. Yeah, it's really difficult to shut up your own voice and make translate the voice of, because it's a lot more. Um, it's a lot more than just translating a text. It's yeah, yeah, it's really difficult to also translate the personality of the author in a way. The PNV translations, I know is that a couple actually? Do you know that? No, it's a man and a woman. So I just assumed that. So and then I think I will read a little bit more. Uh, a little bit more, yeah, classics, in the sense that I want to dive into the classics from Flanders that were written in my language and in French, because a lot of texts were written in French here, because the nobility spoke French here, so they were educated in French, and I want to discover more about my area and the books that were written here, like Karel and Elegast, and there are, yeah, there's also a very Markovic. Okay, yeah. I If I bore you, just let me know. I'm rambling. Um, oh yeah, you could talk about amongst each other. I can do a Steve. Oh yeah, poetry is even harder to translate. That's that, yeah, because then you have also rhythm and yeah, uh, rhyme, and I don't know how they do it. They take a lot of time to do that, and yeah. So yeah, um, I'm chatting. Yeah, that's about it. Do you have any questions? Maybe things things you want to know? I know I forgot to turn on my light there, so it's a bit annoying me. Uh, all the books behind me are in English, and then I have triple this in Dutch. I haven't read all of them, but at least 80%. Uh, 80% is already read. So yeah, um, the most I've read, yeah, and it's since I read English, I read a whole lot less in Dutch, and especially Dutch authors. So I have to try to find a balance a little bit more because I want to discover other books. Yeah. So yeah. Any other questions, maybe? Or I see things passing by, but you're just chatting amongst each other. Um, then what else did I want to read? I want to read the second book about Mussolini by Antonio Scurati, and I want to. Micah, the best way to learn a language is to go to that country and just dive in. And don't be scared to make mistakes. People won't laugh at you. It's more the, the, the effort that you make, and then it'll go a whole lot faster. And or dating somebody who speaks another language, that's also very good. The second fight, after the second fight, you're fluent. Yeah, it's a brilliant. I learned French by dating and by working in a French-speaking office or agency, and English TV, because it is challenging. Yeah, it is. It is really challenging. But like Micah, he's only 20. He can study abroad if he wants to. And yeah, if you go like to, yeah, I learned English from TV because where I live, um, nothing is dubbed. We don't dub. Now they do it more and more, and I hate that for children's TV. We didn't we didn't have that, so nothing was dubbed, even for children. You had to learn to read and watch at the same time. So yeah, I it's the best way to learn a language in a way. And also, if you want to learn it at your own pace, is the best way is to read. Um, yeah, the Dutch don't dub, and the Scandinavians either, and that's because of that. Yeah, we are a lot quicker to learn it, but yeah, it's a way because it's you learn it without thinking, without making an effort in a way, because you're hearing it and then you see it in Dutch. So you start making connections when you're little, and then you go on forward like that. So um, that's why I don't find it interesting to. I don't find it interesting to dub everything for children. But yeah, that's yeah, yeah. Of course, they learn Russian from watching TV. That's how you do it. Yeah, or reading. Like if you want to learn Spanish, for instance, start reading children's books and then work your way up. And yeah, and maybe listen to an audio book while reading the children's book that you are that you can hear it and read it at the same time. I think that can also work. It's more difficult to talk, of course, but yeah, we I learned it from TV. I didn't have any special education. Of course, we learned from the age of 14. We learned English, but I was like 2 hours a week, and we also learned German and yeah, and French, of course. That's from the age of 10. But you don't really learn a lot at school. I think it's not a good way of learning a language. The school. We call it take a language bath. That's the best way. Just jump in and go for it, and nobody will laugh at you if you make mistakes. The only thing is that I, when French-speaking people try to speak Dutch, they often speak a whole lot slower, and I say, try not to be perfect, just make it interesting for the person who's listening. So you have to speed up, and you will make more mistakes, but people will keep their attention, because if you make perfect sentences but you speak like this, then nobody will listen anymore. So that's why I know my English isn't perfect, but I don't care. I know people understand me, and that's the most important thing, and I don't speak too slowly, I hope. Yeah, language is a fun thing to do. I always loved learning English. My brother is even better at it, my oldest brother, and he also speaks Norwegian. And yeah, I had an uncle who spoke Norwegian too, because they were, yeah, it's just interesting. And they worked for a Norwegian company, and that's how you learn it. Yeah. Anyone, any questions? No? Hey, hey, hey! There is Krim and Ollie. Hello, Ollie. Happy to see you here. I was just trying to wrap up a bit because, yeah, there were no questions. Everybody was talking amongst themselves and they forgot me. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, you have. Did you. Was it you who had read this book? Ollie? It was you, huh? Who has read it? How did you think of it? What did you think of it? So yeah, yeah, it's also possible to learn your language via Netflix. Huh? It is you put on the subtitles and you watch a Scandinavian or a Spanish. Okay, it's good. Okay. I really enjoyed the shorts right now, so yeah. My favorite read was Karsten Jensen, Read the Drowned. Ooh, that sounds interesting. That sounds interesting. Oh yeah. Oh, it has a sequel, the book of the. It won something, Philip K. Dick Award for distinguished science fiction in 2014. So it must be good. Yeah, I like reading Danish authors, but I also want to discover more authors from Romania, for instance, from yeah, there are so many. Albania, I don't know. There are so many authors, and I really want to discover more from Eastern Europe. I think there must be a wealth of authors, but sometimes they're. I don't read fantasy. I don't read series either. Um, I I don't like it when they have to build a whole world. Just leave that up to me, and just tell me a good story. And I don't mind if it's science fiction or whatever, but I don't need to know all the details. I'm more interested in the story and the people in it. Um, so yeah, yes, Tove Ditlevsen. Yes, 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 yes. I liked her Copenhagen trilogy, but boy, is it bleak. And it's bleaker, and damn right depressing. Yeah, 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 Luxembourg. Yeah, I don't. But it's even really difficult. Character plot driven, that doesn't matter. Both are okay. Yeah. Um, um, uh, Georgian, yeah, The Eighth Life by Nino Haratishvili. And also, I want to read the second one too. There's a new one out in Dutch, and I want to read that too by yeah, Nino Haratishvili. Yeah, I really want to read that too. And I also really enjoyed. Um, I think Ollie has read it now. When who did time shifts or something like that, where people have there's an institution with people with Alzheimer's or and they yeah, that's the problem. I think it's funny when they say, let's read more indie. Actually, everything I read is indie because the publishers are a lot smaller. So, yeah. It, in Soviet times, yeah, I need an update, yeah, of course, that's true. And sometimes probably also the, the, the text changed a bit in Russian. So if they things were told that they didn't like, that they just are. No, I don't get arcs from NetCabby, no, because I can't get it because I live in Belgium. No arcs from. So yeah, no, I've subscribed and but I couldn't get any. Not available in my country. And then yeah, yeah. It's a bit sad, but yeah, there you go. And yeah, that's about it. I try to. I listen a lot to people that are from other countries, and then I ask them, who are your favorite authors? Do you know any authors from your country that are translated into English or Dutch or German and or French even? And that's how I try to. Um, uh, that's how I try to become more widely read. So it's mostly, and also I listen to interviews with authors who often know people, and they have written a really good book and they want to promote it as a favor for a friend, and then those are often very good, how you call it, tips, because they will never promote a book that they don't believe in. So yeah, mostly it's like summer of 1926. Um, yeah, found some cool books from Bolivia, Ecuador, the Philippines. That way, yeah, natives. That's how you. The best way to do it, because if you just wait uh, to see it in a review in a newspaper or a magazine, they can't review everything, and there are millions of books out there. So yeah, that's the way I do it. So I talk to people when I see Romanian people, because when I talked about Solenoid by Mircea Cartarescu, I said, oh, but he's not the best, and no, he's the most hyped, and and I said, well, be happy that he is very hyped, because other publishers will think, there are some good authors in Romania, so we are going to look for other authors that haven't been translated. So he will push other authors forward too. And then there's a project called Invisible Cities on BookTube, looking at 2 different countries. Yeah, I know, I've seen that too. But I don't want to be forced into buying books, because I don't have anything from that author or from that country. So yeah, I try to be as independent as possible, in the sense that I can still, uh, yeah. I just asked Steve. Yeah. Although I've talked about many books that he has never heard of. So yeah, he reads a lot. I think it's about 100 books a month, and that makes like 1,200 books a year. But that's not everything. Yeah, thank you. Oh. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun with talking to Steve. Yeah, he's an important voice on BookTube, in the sense that he helped my channel a lot with viewers and stuff. Yeah, he reads 100 books a month. Yeah, yeah. I read about 27 a month. Yeah. But I will stop doing that in a way, because it's too much. And hi, Shelley. Hi. No, I will slow it down for a bit, because I want to be more aware of what I read and not just rush through a book. Um, yeah. So yeah, uh, let's say that I'll round up at 1 hour. Is that okay? Yeah, quality trumps quantity. That's true. That's true, Jim. That's really true. So I will stop at 7. Is that okay for you guys? Um, yeah, that's about it. I yeah, Bulgarian authors I want to read more of. Estonian, yeah, Lithuania. There's so much. There's so much out there, um, and yeah, like Switzerland. It's that's yeah, yeah. So yeah, maybe we should round up now. Is that okay? I've got Wolf Hunt on my list for next year. That's oh yeah. I've heard about that book. Do you know who wrote it? Wolf Hunt. And what kind of genre is it? Um, ah, Night train to Lisbon. Is that from Switzerland? Okay, I didn't know that. I thought it was Portuguese. Okay. Well, you're welcome, Micah. I hope we can do this in the future too. Maybe once a month or so to talk about stuff and ideas and things that I'm planning to do with the channel, and then I will put my light on because it really annoys me that my light isn't burning in the back. But anyway, I'm an amateur. What can I say? So yeah, that's about it. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being so great and being you, um, and for following me. It's amazing. It's an amazing feeling. You make me happy and humble. And I wish you all the best for the new year. I wish you, most of all, a very good health, because when you have that, you have achieved everything, and all the rest is less important in a way. So yeah, Carolina, thank you, Micah, thank you, Ollie, thank you, Shelly, thank you, MJ. I see you later, and yeah, talk to you on Wednesday. And I will be coming back with the writing sessions. Don't worry about it. Bye bye.